Welcome back, all my beautiful patriots of Ireland. Today, we have another propaganda video from the biggest brainwash media in the entire country. Yep, you've guessed it, NEWSTALK Radio. Wow, and of course, the man himself, Kieran Cudley, the prime number one suspect for propaganda. This one is, of course, about the storm that's happening right now as we speak. It's 12 o'clock in Galway. Okay, we're about to get hit the worst, so there's about to be a power outage. So I have a bunch of videos lined up for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully, you get to enjoy those while I'll be here trying to call up ESB, trying to get the goddamn power connected. But this one is a red weather threat to life warning for the entire country. Now, before we go any further, this video has 63,000 views. That'll tell you how massive this is, okay? And of course, they've made two videos, okay? They've dropped another video today because, of course, they're money hungry. Kieran Cudley himself, somebody texted me saying that he makes €7,000 a day. I'm not sure that's true. That would be an ostentatious amount of money. That would be just ridiculous amount of money. But it might be true, guys. But this one, of course, is a big storm. Okay, they said it's the worst storm ever recorded, but we're about to find out what exactly it's about. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's see what NEWSTALK have to do, because during a storm, like Trump, he would normally calm people down. As a masculine man, you calm the women and children down, you calm the other men down, and you think logically and you make a plan. These people on the media, the news, mainstream media, all they want to do is make you scared so you buy more things, okay? I went to the shop today after the gym. It was super busy. Anyways, let's get into the video, guys. Let's see what this propaganda artist has to say.
What can we expect from Storm Éowyn?
Well, just to give you some breaking news, the entire country of the Republic of Ireland has now got a red warning for Friday, or part of. So Carlow, Kilkenny, Wexford and Waterford have now been added. You might have some people happy at home, Kieran, to hear that.
I have two people happy, Alan, one unhappy.
But yeah, so it's a red warning for all.
So yeah, he's kind of making a joke there that he's going to be happy because he's a vacation hound, okay? He's a holiday chaser, okay? He doesn't want to be at work.
Yeah, Alan, one unhappy.
But yeah, so it's a red warning for all counties, all 26 counties now. This, unfortunately, Kieran, is looking like the worst case scenario. It's looking like the worst storm in possibly, my living memory.
What? What?
Some of the weather charts look more severe.
Bro, come on. Did you hear what he just said there? The worst in his history. He sounds like an old fella. Like, lads. Listen to that again. I mean, this is just straight propaganda. Like I said, it's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad storm. But the worst in recorded history... Oh, lads, come on.
Living memory,
The worst in living memory. Jeez. Talk about trying to scare the people, like.
In possibly, my living memory. Some of the weather charts look more severe than Ophelia. So that's just to give people an indication, I suppose, of how serious we're looking at here, because the weather charts have been very consistent in showing what we would consider over the top in terms of, you might see the odd weather chart show wind speeds of over 170 kilometres an hour on the west coast, but not kind of continuously. So the high resolution weather model charts now that Met-Éowyn will be using are showing gusts in an excess of 170 kilometres an hour on the west coast, and inland in some parts of the areas like Galway, into Roscommon, Mayo, Ligo.
They're trying to scare me here in Galway, guys. I'm never scared. But listen, like I said, it's going to be pretty bad. But as a leader, a true professional that I am, I want to tell everybody out in Ireland, you're going to be fine. You're going to be okay. Just stay indoors. Luckily, we don't live in Florida, okay, where they all build those little houses made of, cardboard, basically. We live in stone houses, okay? The beautiful Irish people, we're strong. We make houses out of stone. We're going to be okay. The only time I've heard of somebody getting killed in a storm in Ireland is whether they're driving, women driving like idiots, and then a tree falls on them like an idiot, or some guy last year tried to clear a tree outside. He thought he was this big, tough guy, and he chainsawed the tree in half, ended up killing himself with the chainsaw. Okay, a tree fell on top of him as well. So don't go outside. How about that? Don't be an idiot. You'll only get hurt if you're an idiot. How about that, guys? Not trying to scare the public. I'm going to calm everybody down. Just calm down, the public, okay? Let's not get everybody fired up, worked up all the time,
Sligo, Leitrim, possibly over 150 kilometres an hour and widely over 130 kilometres an hour right across the country from late Thursday night through early Friday morning up to Friday lunchtime. Now, it will move quite quickly, Kieran, is the good news.
Okay, so it'll blow over the country relatively quickly, but by Friday lunchtime, most people will be at the other side of it, will they?
The north will still be in it at lunchtime, so probably by 5 o'clock, really, we'll have kind of gone through it. But
dude, why is this guy biting his finger? Like, what is up with this guy, man? Dude, this is the oddest guy, and I'm always reacting to him. It's just like, he's like the oddest sort of, just on air, motions and actions of all time. So odd, man. Why is he biting his finger?
We're looking at, predictions of like worse power outages than what we've seen from Storm Dara, which we had nearly 400,000 without power. We're looking at people being without power for a number of days. And one of the concerns I have looking at the weather models beyond Storm Éowyn is on Sunday we have more strong winds, not to the same extent, but that could hamper, repair works and people trying to get power back in DSB and, open air and broadband and things like that. So
I think that all the electricity in ESB is a scam. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. I don't know about you, but a lot of that electricity stuff can just be, in my personal opinion, it can just be switched back on with a button. You see them out, and it's like, 400,000 people without electricity because like one pole went down. Well, why didn't they reinforce that one pole? It's like, dude, you could just switch it back on with a button. I don't really believe all this stuff that it takes days and stuff to turn the electricity back on. I just think it's complete bullshit. I just think it's nonsense.
It is going to be a very challenging few days ahead, and people really, really need to heed the warning. This is not just another storm.
Yeah, some gobshite's going to jump into the sea in Salt Hill, but anyway, that seems to be...
What would you know about Salt Hill? Dublin boy, or where's he from, Tipperary? What would you know about Salt Hill, boy? Little boy? Yeah, I might go for a swim. What you gonna do, little boy?
Par for the course whenever this happens. Schools will close though, and businesses will close, and public transport will shutter. I mean, these are all the things that happen with red warnings, isn't that right?
It is indeed. Now, as I said, the warnings begin at different times and end at different times, so it is worth checking Met.ie for your own weather warning for your own county. It is still a county by county basis, so it does change. For example, in Great Cullen and Carlow here, we were wondering earlier, you were allowed on one side of the bridge but not the other, so the status red for all counties at least clarifies that type of local situation, but it still does change that it'll end at 10 o'clock in one area, midday in another area.
Alright, that's enough from these idiots. So my recommendation to all the public is stay inside, get nice and cozy, prepare for the worst. But you probably, let's be honest, guys, if you stay inside, you're not going to get harmed, okay? That's my recommendation. These guys over here are scaremongering, the number one scaremongering news platform in the whole country. And not to get too kind of, conspiratorial with it, but I think that, they do control the weather to a certain extent, some places in the world. It seems like, they have that sort of they create clouds machine. It was on Top Gear. They create clouds, the sort of geoengineering, they spray the atmosphere and stuff. They do obviously certain things that create weather, okay? They do, this is mainstream media. You can just look it up. It's on NEWSTALK, right? They talk about creating clouds. It was on Top Gear, right? In Dubai, for instance, in the Middle East, because it's so hot, every Sunday they create clouds and they make it rain, okay? They make it rain not with money, but they make it rain with the actual, aqua, okay, water, because it's very dry to get the crops to kind of grow and stuff like that. So they can make it rain. Whether this is that or not, I'm not so sure about that. But just when we're talking about weather, you guys have all seen in California, I've never been to California, but apparently there's all these massive amounts of fires and stuff. And to me, it just seems like, why don't they just geoengineer clouds like they can do and just create it to rain? They can make it rain. So, at the very least, they can make it rain. I'm not so sure about the other geoengineering stuff. It's a bit out there. It's probably possible. With the technology that we have nowadays, but definitely to make it rain. Okay, with this storm, would there be some way that we could prevent it? I'm not so sure, guys, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. Storm Éowyn, I don't know how he said it. The way he said it was super weird, but yeah, man, there's NEWSTALK again with their sort of review of it. Let's read some of the comments, guys. It's great that the wind knows where Northern Ireland starts and the Republic finishes. Yeah, so obviously people are saying that the Northern Ireland isn't going to get any, but Republic is just going to get hit. Will the pubs be open? Sharon Slater, probably not. The pubs will probably not be open. But here's the thing. tomorrow on Friday it should be okay past 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. like noon, during the day, because the storm won't last that long, thankfully. I'm gonna stay inside until then. That's the bread and toilet paper gone forever. Yeah, people, in my opinion, these news talk platforms are there for a reason. I think that the media is there to kind of create obviously, it does some good by telling people about the weather, but creates scaremongering, which makes people buy and purchase meat, bread, cheese more. So, it is a bit like that as well. I wouldn't trust basically anything mainstream media says anymore. But when it comes to the weather, yeah, it's an interesting one. Whether or not this is going to happen or not, hopefully it does. My recommendation, stay inside, be safe, get your nice cup of tea ready. If you have like a cooler like this thing, put a whole bunch of tea inside it, hot water, so you have tea for the next day. Even if the power goes out, you'll have your nice tea here. I don't know, I just don't see that big of a deal. Like, no storm in Ireland has really done anything to us bad ever. It just kind of scares people quite a bit. And I'm in Galway. I'm in the worst part of it. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know where you are in Ireland. Is it going to affect you the most? Stay safe, stay free. I love you all. And I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.